So on today's podcast, we have the man himself, the general of not missing, Mr. Lewis Mcfarlane. Another crazy podcast filled with wisdom and little nuggets that you can start to apply to your own life and optimize it. So you need to tune the fuck in, because if you are sitting soaking this in and you take what you can away from this, it's going to be life changing. And only if you want to just fuck this up. Whether it's money, whether it's more happiness, whether it's just improving the quality of your life, these episodes will allow you to do so. So switch the fuck on, popcorn in, have a good time. Yeah.
More life, baby.
So welcome back to the More Life podcast, and today we have the general of not missing, Lewis Mcfarlane.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so we're gonna literally just let him introduce himself, because I don't think we do it much justice. So Lewis, who are you for the people that do not know you listening?
First and foremost, boys, appreciate you having us on the pod. Love that shit. Love what you're doing. So yeah, a little bit about me. Grew up in Ayrshire, skateboarder, little bit of a, I don't know, circle jumper. A lot of different friend groups growing up, so a lot of different kind of avenues, a lot of different dimensions, learned from a lot of different people. I'm the founder and CEO of the Peak Performance Project. I hate calling myself a CEO, you know, it feels like a weird thing. You know, but you got to kind of step into that.
Sounds official. Fucking own it, bro. Yeah, the CEO.
That's what it is. But yeah, I run an online coaching business, help a lot of people, men and women, break the shit cycle, unfuck themselves, get in a phenomenal physical condition, and live with more purpose, optimize their productivity, and generally step into a higher level of being, thinking, and feeling.
Unfuck. I love that. Yeah, when you say unfuck yourself, can you elaborate a little bit?
Well, I used to be fucked.
Yep.
You know?
We all did. But that's why we're doing this podcast, bro.
You know, you guys are, you know, take that holistic approach as well. And I say unfucked because I used to be like massive stoner. Used to take a lot of drugs every single weekend, like a lot. Was always living two lives. Kind of like Monday to Friday would be this kind of clean cut PT guy. Then the weekend would come and I would be like, if one of my clients saw me, I'd fucking run for the hills. Like, be out my fucking dial. And like, nutrition as well, like, you know, it'd always be on and off. Everything in my life used to be always on and off, on and off. Never, it was always like occasionally great, never consistently good. And that led me down a path of like never reaching my full potential, never really tapping into what I knew was what my calling was, my purpose was. And I didn't really kind of tap in and, you know, report fucking above, you call it, you know, when you're on that kind of higher frequency, on that higher plane of living, feeling, and becoming. And I always just used to kind of cut corners, piss people off, stress myself out, and push people away from me because I was always like inconsistent, you know. And that kind of like saying life's a mirror, not a window, I kind of started reflecting deep upon myself and looking at myself properly, and thought, you know what, I am right now fucked compared to what I could be. So I decided on this path of like personal development to like slowly unfuck myself. And that's where I kind of got that kind of saying from. And I know a lot of my clients as well, they kind of fall into that trap as well. They're good with work, they're good with relationships. They might have, you know, self-validating things based on their car, their financial status, relationship, house, whatever it may be. When it comes down to their own self-work, their own self-worth, everything that they now do to create the identity of the person they want to be, maybe physically, mentally, they lack massively. And that was a big area for me as well, you know, so I decided to kind of lean into that heavily with my coaching.
Because mainstream media doesn't really touch on too much of self-development and mindset. So what resources did you start to tap into to develop the mind and self-develop yourself? School
of life.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of life experience then?
I would say so. Kind of touched on at the start there, like a lot of different friend groups growing up. I'd, you know, be friends with the Neds. You know, you find out a lot about their values, their life. Friends with the skaters, find out their values, their life. The hippies. Older people I used to hang around with when I was like 15, 16, you know, hanging around with like 30-year-olds, you know, going skateboarding with them and stuff like that. You'd always kind of like want to, you know, impress them. So you'd do things that young guys do. And then obviously different friend groups as well. You kind of see yourself going around different circles and whatnot. And even in coaching, I've never like been one specific person. I've never just been the bodybuilding guy. I've never just been the runner guy, the sports performance guy. I've been the everything guy. And that's allowed me to kind of navigate around different circles and just kind of like be in a state of flow and blend into different groups. hence why I've probably kind of met you guys as well. And I never close the door in anything or anyone. I'm always open to like sit in that space, sit in that room, and just learn from anyone else that I can. And I think that's probably one of my better traits, because I don't really turn my nose up at anything. Yeah. You know, I'm happy to, you know, explore and experience new things, and you know, that's where it's brought me.
Sick, yeah. So again, the age you're at right now, for the people watching, you seem like you've got your purpose. You're on your fucking purpose on a daily basis. You're just living life to chase that kind of goal that you've got and the purpose you've now got. When did you develop that sense of vision and awareness of your purpose? And what age were you when you were like kind of fucked and then starting to unfuck yourself? Just because there might be like 18-year-olds, 15-year-olds, people watching this and they're sitting fucked thinking, inverted nipples, pot belly. When do I get to where Lewis is? Yeah, exactly.
I used to have those inverted nipples. They were horrible. Ghastly sight to look at in the mirror, man. You know, I'd have to kind of like nip them and get in cold temperatures to be cold, just so, you know, felt part of the guys. But, you know, I've been at this for 10 years now, guys. I'm 26, you know, started my self-development journey when I was 16. Brother wrote me a program on the back of a napkin that he got from work. You know, I rinsed that every fucking day, no matter what. Just disappeared one summer at school, came back, had forearm veins and a little bit of pecs and some abs, you know, stopped drinking fizzy juice, stopped eating sweets, started eating fruit, bought my first bag of protein, started reading the like Arnold Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding and learned how to fucking lift. And then I kind of got in that kind of Sigma mindset. I didn't even know it was a thing back then, but I used to watch like Dexter. You ever seen that show about the serial killer?
Yeah.
And I was like, I like the way he lives. He's like meticulous, by the book, does it, but he's up to all sorts of mad shit. And I was like, I don't know, I got some weird inspiration off him. And I started eating the same breakfast as he would every single morning before school. So it was like gammon steak and eggs, grapefruit juice. And I just started doing this like, I started like, used to always watch like American Psycho, like Patrick Bateman, all that kind of shit. And I just started like taking little bits from different people that I looked up to, and I hadn't even tapped into like the self-development space. It was all through like fiction. It was all through like these characters that were in movies or drama shows or TV shows. And I just started like proactively taking care of myself more. One of the things that led me to do that, I was a sponsored skateboarder growing up. You know, that was my thing. I thought that's where I was going to go. I thought I was going to be the next Tony Hawk. You know, companies and brands would send skateboards to me and shoes to me, and you know, I was like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. Like, didn't have to worry about a thing in the world as long as I had my skateboard and new shoes. I used to, you know, skate for 10 hours a day. But then I'd done my knees in, and I couldn't skate anymore. And that was when I just decided, you know what, something else needs to take my energy. And like at school, a lot of guys were like, you know, there's always those cunts in school with like 6-packs. They're like fucking 14,
natural
15.
Skinny packs.
Yeah, I never had that. And I was like, right, I need to, you know, they were starting to get some female attention. So I was like, I need to start getting fucking yoked. I need to start getting jacked. So I leaned against my brother. He was running, deadlifting, getting strong, doing well with the girls and stuff, like party boy and stuff. And I was like, you know what, I want some of that. So I started just developing myself through physical exercise. You know, came back to school and I was just a bit of a different person. You know, cut my hair down, used to have really long locks, got a little bit jacked, started wearing like a tight salmon skin shirt, muscle fit from ASOS, looking jacked. You know, girls, and I remember in English noticed my forearm veins. And they were like, I like this shit. I like that shit. So it was very like surface level to begin with. But again, like when you start, it has to be surface level. Otherwise you're going to overwhelm yourself. But the deeper I've got into this game, man, I've invested, you know, well over £200,000 in personal development through coaching, mentoring. And, you know, I just try to learn from the best I possibly can, despite if I'm ready to be in that room, I'll just step in.
Sick. So just to kind of touch on that last point you made, a lot of people on here, £200,000, you would piss your pants if you even thought of spending that or even having that in a bank account. But the importance of what Lewis has done with that money, putting it into himself, it's going to allow him to reach goals that fucking wouldn't have been possible if he didn't do that. So yeah, again, when he's finding his purpose, there's been a lot of fucking intent behind doing that. You don't just float through life and find your purpose and then one day you're like, right, okay, I'm the general of not missing, I'm going to help hundreds of people change their lives. You kind of do, you need to do a little bit of digging, you completely do. And from what you've kind of told me, Lewis, like right now you're probably close to the kind of highest point you've been in life, but that is one of the questions, is what has been the highest point in your life and what lessons have you learned from it?
The highest point,
like the peak. If it's not now, when?
It's coming, baby. It's coming.
What so far?
Yeah.
What's the highest point in your life been?
I've never had the highest point, but I've had moments.
Okay.
I've had little moments, and I've had experiences, wide and different. You know, there was a time like I think you know, to go full circle with this, you always get your highest highs off the lowest lows, and I've had a lot more L's and W's. I can honestly say that I've ate shit so many fucking times in my life, and that's, you know, the growth that you get off the back of that, and staying resilient and still finding the reason to go another day. You know, I think all a man has is a word, and when you can validate yourself based upon your process rather than the outcome, you know, that's every single day is my highest day, to be honest, man. When I stick to my fucking process, like, I can't really, you know, pinpoint one part. There's been times in life, you know, being in the beaches of Bali on Christmas Day wearing a Santa hat, tripping on mushrooms, and just experiencing everything life has to give to me and not moving for 12 plus hours because I'm just in a different planet.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Or, you know, taking DMT at the top of Scotland up north, and then coming out of that trip and being like so woke for like a couple of days after that. I was like, this is the direction, this is the path. Or like the time when I wrote my car off completely, and then off the back of that had this kind of open-eyed realization about like life's fucking short kind of thing, you know. Or like when I pushed my partner away from me because I'm not willing for commitment, and then, you know, she done the work, she done the fight. That's what fucking true love is, when you want to give up but they don't, you know. And then finding that, and then you learn these things through different experiences, injuries, setbacks, business wins, business losses, good investments, bad investments, friendships that are ripped apart, friendships that are grown through new experiences, whatever it may be. Like, there's never been one point in my life where it's been like, this is the one peak. I've just had loads of mini ones and a lot of like little lows as well. You know, it's kind of just been,
yeah, man,
kind of cruising.
Peaks and troughs.
Peaks and troughs, yeah.
To touch on the 200 grand in self-development quickly before we move on. Obviously, me and Kyle are in the tens right now in terms of self-development, but we're looking to get to the hundreds because I saw a quote by Jim Rohn the other day, and it was, your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development because success is something you attract by the person you become. And by the money Lewis spent in his personal development will allow him to compound those efforts well past the money he spent, and ultimately become a high 6-figure, high 7-figure earner eventually. So it's crazy to think that you need to spend money to make money, and spend it in the right places obviously is very important, and self-development is, I would say, the most important thing you can spend your money on. One thing that Lewis, you said to me, and it's not kind of left my head, one of the first things we interacted was, obviously I said the multi-millionaire, and you're like, yes, like, definitely. And you said, like, with the right amount of focus and input, you will get the output. Like, it's just, it's going to happen. And that indefinite belief that we all have of the success we're going to get from the input and the focus that we've got right now, it allows us to just push daily. So, like, again, if you want to, like, say, like, when you're saying that to me, daily, have you got that in your head? Like, just put the input in, you're going to get the output, the focus. There's like a North Star everyone has, I think. And when you can reverse engineer that and think about the process and the habits that allow you to create the identity of the person who now owns everything that guy owns, that North Star, or the location freedom, the time freedom, the financial freedom, the relationship status, all of that, like, get fucking clear on it. How the guy eats, how the guy trains, how the guy looks, how the guy feels, how the guy sleeps, how the guy like speaks to other people, how he articulates himself, you know, all of that is going to accumulate to create this like unfuckwithable identity. Because it's not like success, right? Success in life, it's not just a look, it's a feeling. And you can behave your way to success the same way as you behave your way to having tits and belly fat. Mm-hmm. You can behave you don't just wake up fat, nor do you just wake up successful. So you have to kind of like go on this path. And, you know, like an airplane, for example, if you're flying an airplane, you go off by 1%, you're going to end up in a completely different place. So it's about staying on course as best as you possibly can, despite the vices, despite the instant gratification, despite what your head might say to you sometimes. But no, honestly, see, when you said it to me, bro, the right amount of focus and input, it just so fucking true. But like, see, when self-doubt creeps in, you're like, nah, it's sound. Focus and input, because it's going to come. And obviously when we're talking about being fucking millionaires, bro, like, a lot of people don't even have that as an option. They can't even fathom getting to that point in life.
They're like, I want to hit 50 grand in my 9 to 5.
My whole life, bro. Yeah, exactly. It's fucked. But me and you know, or Jack knows as well, obviously, like the right amount of effort daily is just going to accumulate. It's fucking so sick, bro, because it just keeps you driving daily. Me and Jack were speaking about this on the way here. Obviously, we're in a position now where we're networking with boys like Lewis, had Nico in the pod, had Colin in the pod. Our networking, our authority has been built over the last 3, 4, 5 years of taking action with zero fucking short-term results. And speaking to Lewis and the point I just made about the right amount of focus and input, you just need to believe that that is going to happen so that on a daily basis you can take daily actions. If there's going to be some big fuck off long-term result, you need to be willing to act with zero short-term results.
Any big outcome requires a lot of fucking effort. And you've got to be able to kind of expand that time horizon long enough to, be able to stack wins and W's along the way. And the more wins you stack, you're going to get there eventually. And I think not having this kind of like fucked, kind of skewed expectation based upon what somebody else values, I think it's very easy as you're growing up to look at what someone else has and think that's success. It's cool to kind of be like, cool, they've kind of got a bit of what I want, but you have to create your own path. You have to create your own path to success. And, the world is not what it is, it's as you are. And when you now create your own vision, you don't let like societal norms put that weight or pressure on you to like appease other people. You can kind of roll with your own fucking flow. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is like the self-trust to follow through on what you know is right. Like, see that gut instinct, never discount it. It's always right. It is always fucking right. Even if your brain says, no, cool thing, do now. It just wants dopamine, but your gut's like, nah, you gotta know when to say yes and when to say no.
Why would someone doubt their gut?
They're not connected to their body. The mind and the gut are completely connected through that vagus nerve, and if people are, so beat down with poor digestion, poor body consciousness, not confidence, but consciousness, actually how they feel in their body. Like, I feel my fucking body extremely well. I know everything that's going on inside it almost to a point. It's like my mind and body are so like connected. Like, see when you do your, physio work and stuff, you got to know your body so well to be able to put that energy into someone else's. And same with coaching, personal training. You know how to contract the bicep. So when you're coaching someone on how to contract the bicep, you're going to be like, no, we have to twist and do it this way. And see if you think about like, get that pinky around a bit more and feel that squeeze is better than doing it this way. It's like, I feel that with everything. So see when you're really deeply connected to your own body, your own mind, your own spirit, that's when you can start like feeling where you should drive to, your purpose actually is, because everything's already inside you. You just have to unlock it.
What can that person do that can't follow their gut, that does doubt themselves? What can they do to build that trust within themselves?
One of the best things for me was, again, weight training. If you're getting stronger, you're dropping the fat, you're building some muscle, you're starting to feel good in yourself, confidence is building. You're not going to walk up in the gym and deadlift 230 fucking kilos straight off the bat. Your gut's going to say, nah, man. Nah, it's not even your head that's saying that. Your body's like terrified of the weight. Over time, you like build that trust, that confidence, like I can lift this, because your mind, your heart, your head, your gut is all telling you can do it because you've now got the evidence. So I think just like exercise, personal development through weight training, through physical fitness, that's for anything, that's going to be like the gateway drug to bettering yourself. We all know that guy that drives like the M4 souped up, that's, pouring out 70 pounds overweight with a nice watch and a nice, house or whatever, but, only validates himself based on what he has. But if you were to put him in a gym, he'd fucking shit a brick, but he swings his dick around in the office place, big spender, but, put him under a fucking barbell, he'd fold like a hot Mars bar.
Brother, take your top off.
Yeah, it's to the truffle shuffle.
To the truffle shuffle.
Not being like against fat guys, but like guys, if you're fat and you want to get rid of it, fucking do the work and get rid of it, like straight up.
It's a choice as well.
Yeah, but the path of least resistance, like you've just given people an option to run with, is get in the fucking gym. do something physically, stack the evidence to allow yourself to be confident. And then when that self-doubt creeps in, guess what? You've got the evidence to prove that that self-doubt isn't even real. And then you just take fucking action, go with your gut. It's fucking really valuable shit that Lewis has just said there. And it's, again, it might sound simple, might sound easy, but it's probably something you've not considered as the easiest way to just start proving yourself, proving to yourself that you can trust yourself.
A really big one for me was running as well, especially not just short distance, but endurance. Running like my first 50k distance, that gave me a hell of a lot of proof that I could endure. You know, I was like, maybe 2 years prior to that, I couldn't run. I wouldn't. I told myself, I can't run, can't do this. I think I cried in my first 3k because like I came off the back of like smoking weed for so long, and I was like so emotionally raw. I was actually like, that's what a feeling is. You know, because I was just numb for years, for fucking years.
Fucked.
Listening to like Injuna Deep, running down the beach on like a really sunny day, and I just got that like overwhelming sense of like gratitude and feeling and connection with my body and my mind for the first time ever. And I was like, fuck, this is real. You know, I've got like wee goosebumps even talking about that moment. That was like, yeah, that's insane. But then you build it and you build it and you do your first half marathon, your first marathon, you do an ultra marathon, you're like, fuck, old me would have like never thought you could have done this. And when it comes to like a hard conversation or a business move or some decision you have to make that you don't fully like believe is going to be able to get pulled off, you fucking go and you trust it, and you trust you to be able to deliver and commit to succeeding with that. Despite what you tell yourself in your head, you just fucking do it.
Because you've done it before?
Yeah.
Sick. Fucking amazing. When it comes to speaking about the mind and the gut, I feel like I learned a little bit from Wes Watson recently. You know Wes Watson?
King.
The king himself.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I learned a little bit about, from Wes Watson recently. The mind being the logic, the gut being intuition. And I've really started to follow my intuitive thinking, my intuitive thoughts. I've started to take risks that are out with logic. So like spending all my money that I've got sitting there, just having that abundance mindset, expecting it to come back. And that intuitive thinking that Wes Watson talks about allows him to take risks that will then allow him to get to that next stage, that next level. So always going with your mind and going with the logic will probably hinder you long term. You need to take those risks. Man,
you can be like the fucking smart investor guy and save your way to wealth, I guess. You can't, it doesn't work with health or fitness. You can't save your way to health. You know, you need to kind of go all in.
Yeah.
And the same with like if you want to accrue money. If you have, like, say, £10,000 there, don't save yourself one or two. Invest £8,000 in yourself. You will fucking 2x your yearly revenue the following year. And you invest 60 the next year, you will 4x the fucking next year. It is literally the laws of fucking frequency, the laws of the universe. The more you fucking put in, the more you get out. I think I quoted Rich Piana there.
Yeah.
But it's like, the more you put in,
the more you fucking get out. The biggest cunt I've ever seen.
You don't have to be a fucking scientist.
Fucking 9-hour chest workouts and shit.
I done his 8-hour arm workout once.
Mad.
After school.
How was that?
I did wipe Mars for like, I don't know, I did wipe Mars, but it was fucking hard.
Didn't wipe yours?
Wee T-Rex
arms. Wipe Mars. Who was yours? Just shake the shit off, bro.
Wee T-Rex arms for like a fucking month after that.
Yeah, so that logic. Had to use the B-Day, bro. That doesn't.
That thing, man. Wee Japanese bath.
That doesn't always work with what you get. Like, yeah, it does, but like with an 8-hour arm workout, tendonitis, can't wipe your ass. I mean, it only goes so far, but generally, like for every action is an opposite and equal reaction, and if not more. So as you're saying, when you put 8 grand into yourself, you're going to get 16 fucking or double your revenue back. Like that is going to happen. And it's not about, it's the compound effect of all these little small fucking actions are going to create this big fuck off result. But do you know what I mean?
Think about this shit. It's like some dude invests in a coaching program that allows him to drop 40 pounds of fat, reveal his abs, get fit and strong for the first time in his life, learn the ins and outs of nutrition properly, his macros, how to like optimize his wake and sleep schedule and have better habits. Do you think that guy that's invested £1,500 over the course of a year is going to have a worse fucking life? Is he? Fuck, that guy is probably going to get the ghetto he was wanting to fucking get, make more money and work because he's more confident, and start validating himself based off who he is rather than what he's got. And fuck, man, that's changed his trajectory. That's going to change his fucking life. Yeah. Straight up, man.
But people can't spend that money because they don't see. We can spend money on ourselves because we see the value in the result. People hold on to the value of the money and what they could spend it on, and they're going to end up spending it on takeaways and fucking alcohol.
Spend £300 a month on disposable vapes if you buy fucking the 2 for £10 every day.
Listen to that. Fucked. That's fucked up. Elf bars, £300. And then what? Coaching isn't even £300 sometimes. Like
fucking, you know, medium to high ticket coaching was, you know, roughly 300.
250, 300.
250, about 350 a month.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's a month, mate. Like, you know, it's like put that money where your fucking mouth is rather than put the fucking burgers there, man.
Why do you think people avoid that?
Scared to failure, man. Like, I had a guy I was speaking to last night in the DMs, you know, I put an offer out and it was like, I'm training this, I'm yo-yo diet, and I'm 2 steps forward, 1 step back, I'm this and that. I'd love to do it. I love your shit. I love your content, but I really just don't believe I could commit to it. And I was like, so you're saying you're doing everything anyway, but doing it wrong and going in the wrong direction. So imagine you had all the right stuff and you still don't believe you could do it. I just asked him that. Didn't get back to me. You know, time will come. There's a time for everyone. There's never going to be a lack of clients, but it's just the right time. You know, and if you're, you know, putting out the right stuff, you're going to continue just helping one person at a time. Focus on the one, man. Focus on the one, change one person's life at a time. But it has to come from yourself. You're consistently changing your life and invest in yourself. You don't drop that belief that you know you can help and you know where you're going. Fuck, you change the fucking world, man, that way. I
think that person you're talking to in the DMs, though, in his head, the perceived effort of getting on board with you is like, I need to do all this, I need to do all that. But in reality, if he just took like 1 day at the gym a week and just take small steps forward, starts to slowly stack up the evidence, he would then be able to completely smash every area of his life.
Guys downloaded every one of my lead magnets, every one of my like free things.
Has he used them?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Know, but he's literally got a fucking like absolute savage blueprint.
Yeah, in front of him,
ready to crush. It is obviously not, you know, been done. He's probably still on T Nation looking at what fucking testosterone boosters he needs to use.
Green tea.
Yeah, that theanine.
When it comes to you obviously being 10 years in the game, other than just having skin in the game, and it's important to note that the power of compound interest has started to take place. It's not something that's happened overnight. People wait for this big fucking transition, this big change to go from a bag of shit to like a fucking G, like yourself. But it's more so just focusing on 1% better every day. And it's not just the interest that you will add over the course of that time. It's more the interest that you will add to the accrued interest that you're building over time. So it's not just like 1% better every day. It's as you get bigger and add to that interest, it will keep compounding past 1%. Do you know what I mean? So
for real, it's like that philosophy, Kaizen, 1% better every day. Go imagine your life is like a penny slot machine. Keep putting the 2 pennies in. Keep putting the 2 pennies in. And it might not fall, then boom, you're going to get a big fucking payout. And, you know, either return on investment in terms of finances, better quality relationship, better quality bill of health with your physique, your energy, whatever it may be. And it just keeps stacking those chips, man. Stack those chips in your favor, and you will get to a stage of your life where you do fucking trust yourself. I'd never used to trust myself, you know. I used to be very shy, very underconfident when it came to like situations. I could put this kind of fake confidence on. I could, you know, sit in a room and chat away and do what I need to do, coach my clients. But the minute they left, I'd be so like, whoa. Like I was living in a state of like anxiety and fear all the time because I just didn't trust myself. I was always in my own head, even when I spoke. Do you know when you always doubt what you say?
Yeah.
After a conversation is maybe finished, you're like, I wish I could have said that. Yeah. I used to do that hell of a lot. Whereas now, if a conversation finishes, I don't even fucking think about it ever again. I move on to the next one. You know, more hand you shake, more money you make. So it's about the next conversation,
Literally.
more next conversation, rather than stressing about the past. That's why the rear view mirror is smaller, because the past is fucking obsolete. You know, you got to fucking put yourself in a position where you're just forward focused. Yeah, take time to reflect rather than project, but put yourself in a spot where you're always thinking next move. It's a chessboard, man. You got to be thinking strategically how you're going to win. And that's, you know, what it comes down to: connecting with the right people, investing in yourself properly, getting your mind and body right, and being someone that, again, we touched on, that does not fucking miss once you've got that process in place.
You keep talking about investing, and when people say that, hear that word, they always think, what can they invest their money in to make more money back? it's always that monetary return. But the biggest investment you can make is yourself, and you don't get any monetary return. Like, I'm going to Tenerife every month, spending fucking decent a little bit of money every month. No secure monetary return, but the return I'll get in life experience, networking, self-development, all that kind of stuff will pay dividends in the future far past what I've initially invested. A lot of people, because a lot of people think about that monetary return. So was it from the start of your journey at 16 that you started properly investing in yourself, or when were you aware of actually putting money into yourself?
I invested in things, you know, like I think I was about 19 when I invested in my first mentor. I didn't really know how to use it properly. I didn't know how to extract value properly. I was just like, okay, I've got this guy that's telling me what to do, but every time he told me what to do, I would like be scared to take the action on it. But again, you just learn. It's like you build that calloused mindset up, and like, see now working with the guys I'm working with, they tell me to jump, I say how fucking high, you know, I'll do anything that they tell me, because it's proven. It's a formula. There's a way to do this. Whereas in the past, it's like you're allowed to be scared of investing in yourself, but you know, just be wise, because you're going to fucking learn so many lessons. You never fail. I've never failed in life. I've stacked a lot of losses, but I've never failed. There's always been a lesson off the back of everything that I've ever done that is worth its weight in gold, even through failed investments or, you know, learned investments in myself through personal development programming, coaching, mentorship. I never look back at any of the ones I've done and being like, that was a waste of money. Because if you extract one little bit of nugget of gold, that could be the thing that got you to that next level.
100%.
And that first investment made that next investment in the next one. If I'd never done it when I did, I'd probably be like 5 years behind. Straight up.
Negativity. How do you overcome it?
I just don't fucking believe in it, man.
So negativity from other people, negativity within yourself. Touch on the two subjects if you could.
Negativity is only bred from a state of like contraction. You know, see, if you're having a bad day, I'm most likely having a bad day, right? It's just the universe, fluxes and flows and just ups and downs. If you wake up crab it, that's negativity. But how do you override that? You know, you've got to have systems in place. If you're getting trolled online, people are saying stuff to you, you've got shit people in your office. Are you literally going to let Sharon, 42, from fucking like East Kilbride ruin your fucking day? Shit, what makes her entitled ass so fucking valued in her state of mind that she can ruin your day just for casting shit on you? It's like, fuck that, you know? Because one of the best quotes that I've ever heard was, life's a mirror, not a window. If someone is giving you all this jibber jabber, all this shit, how bad is their fucking life for you to be put off your course, your kilter, because they're having a bad day? You're right. And this is the thing, like, you know, we're all fucking gifts in our own right. If someone is having a negative time or a bad time, that will pass, right? But what you can do, being yourself, you can do your absolute best to elevate their energy through your fucking traits. You know, that's what I truly believe. I was getting trolled hard on Facebook probably over the month of December through the content I was creating, like random fucking imbeciles, like cunts that you'd be like, have you seen you? Like, bro, what are you even talking about? Like, and I was looking at it and I was like, I'd get another ping, another ding, here's another notification, another comment, like slagging me off my physique, the way I speak, saying, oh, he's got bees in his mouth and all that. Like, I was actually like, this is fucking hilarious. But I'd go on their page and it'd be like a fucking fat gimp holding a fish. Like, I caught myself a salmon. It's like, fuck you, you idiot. Yeah. Like, shut up. Like, I just laugh. You just have to laugh. And it's like, how bad is your life to actually, you know, on the 24th of December to comment on a fitness coach's? It's like, shouldn't you be with your family?
No.
Yeah. If you care so much about your family, it's Christmas Eve, motherfucker. Go eat a chocolate orange. Like, legit. Fuck, man.
Yeah, you need to have empathy for these fucking sad cunts.
Blows my mind, man.
100%.
But you can't bleed into it. Otherwise, you're going to waste your time.
Yeah,
you know?
It's good to know that most hate as well, though, comes from projection. Most hate comes from insecurity and shit in their own life that they're dealing with, that they need to try and belittle that next person to make them feel a little bit less little in their head. They're just a little bit less inferior, isn't it?
It's mad, man. It's
fucked.
It's not most hate. It's not most hate. It's every single bit of hate. Like if you've got, say someone actually like throws shit at you or something, you've got a genuine reason not to like them, or like he's a fucking prick for doing that.
Well, dog shit, right? Actual dog shit.
They've picked up dog shit with their bare hand.
Human feces.
Or maybe their own shit. Maybe they shat in their own hand and
like
threw it
a
at
monkey.
you. Yeah, underhand throw. No, but if someone's done something genuinely bad to you, right, you can hate them, yeah, you can have a bit of negativity towards them, but if there's no genuine reason, right, you need to reflect. If you feel negative about someone else, it's your fucking problem. It completely is. It's coming from you. Yeah. And a perspective that I had a client call on Monday, perspective I gave them all, right, when we're talking about negativity, is everything in life that happens is neutral, completely neutral. You choose whether it's bad or whether it's good. And that is a complete fucking fact.
Straight up, man.
So if you were to, for example, have something that challenges you, right, you could look at that and go, oh my God, I'm stressed out. Or you can look at it and go, this is a test to make me stronger. You've got a choice whether that's good or bad. So yeah, everything that happens in life is absolutely neutral. Another example that I gave in the client call, and a couple of clients were like, what the fuck is he talking about? But I was in a restaurant with my boy the other day, right? And I gave him this point about everything in life is neutral. You choose whether it's good or bad. I said, if this person next to us right now keeled over and died, I wouldn't give a fuck. I don't know who it is. It's a stranger, right? But would the person across from him give a fuck? Of course. Really negative, stressed out to fuck. So that thing, although it's inherently a bad thing if someone dies, right, it's neutral because I don't give a fuck about it, right? And if it was only negative and it wasn't neutral, then I would obviously care about it, but I don't need to, because it's neutral and I choose whether it's good or bad. Obviously, I'm not going to choose it's a good thing, but it stays neutral for me because I don't give a fuck about that person dying next to me because I don't know them or don't care about them.
Yeah, there's no like emotional connection.
Yeah, but it's still a neutral thing that's happened. But everyone chooses they always focus on the fucking negative aspect of everything. When if you take the perspective of this is neutral, I get to choose whether it's good or bad. You've got a conscious decision to make rather than just looking for the negative, focusing on the bad shit.
As like as selfish as it may be, but you do have to live in a state of mind where nothing can affect you. Like big horrible fucking tax bill comes in. Is what it fucking is. Girlfriend says you look like a piece of shit. Well, guess I need to work on me. Like, whatever. I'm not going to be like,
shut up.
I'm not going to fucking start these mad arguments, you know? And the best thing to do, right, even if your ego wants you to fucking lean in, it's just breathe, man. Just, okay. Nice perception of that situation. I'm going to take the data on which you have. I'm going to go away and I'm going to do what I can. Yep. That's straight up. Like you can't be knocked off your course. Like when it comes down to that purpose that we spoke about, if I know where I'm going, and like on my fucking like life's a fucking book and you're turning pages, I've got the pen, I can write my next chapter. And my chapter does not say anything about wasting fucking 4.5 hours and paying all this karmic debt for acting out of alignment and being a little pussy and getting angry over someone cutting me off in the fucking dual carriageway. Yeah. Like beeping and honking. I remember I was actually coming away from this studio and this guy, other side of the road, I was going to turn this roundabout and he started coming round and I started coming out and he was like beeping and cussing and stopped his car in the middle of the roundabout and he was like a monkey, like somebody stole his bananas, like this big gorilla, like punching his fucking steering wheel. I was just like, dude, I'm just listening to Key Glock and my fucking vibe, man. Like, bro.
Like, what is he not doing though? He's not like keeping himself to himself. He's not doing like, what you're saying.
It's like a kettle that's boiling, like steam going out the guy's ears, man.
That's fucking brilliant.
I just cracked on my day, but I bet that guy had a real bad day ahead, man.
Battered a wall or something.
Goes into Greg's, orders a cheese and bean melt, and it's freezing cold, and he's like, fuck. Bad thing, and the next bad thing goes up the road, and his wife's like, we're having fucking cauliflower cheese for dinner, your favourite. He's like, fuck.
Because at the threshold all the time, he's ready to boil over all the time. I don't like that anymore. But see, a good point to make from that, although it is fucking hilarious that people are just all that like that all the time. These people though, because they're in a constant state of stress, they're not doing what they know they should be. They're not living a life where they tick the boxes and they're following their process, and they're constantly in a state of fucking guilt and shame.
Guys aren't even like, these guys' egos are so big they don't even want to believe that a process is a thing. That's the problem. Like, I think like even folk that don't post on social media, like I heard that, Wes Watson say that, but those who don't post positive stuff on social media, that's ego. You know, they're like, I can't believe you posted a client win on social media. That's so lame. Like, you're trying to grow a business. That's so lame. It's like, what are you doing? Another fucking you and your Stone Island bottle of Bucky photo. Fucking punk.
Bro, there's boys I know that literally spend a third of their monthly income on a fucking top. The vanity that is filled with a lot of these people, the ego, it's fucking insane. But it's important to note as well, though, that ego can be, I feel like, a very useful and important thing to have in certain situations. It's just whether that ego is led by security or insecurity. I feel like if you're insecure, your ego takes over and you act with insecurity. Dishonesty looks to come out as well. But if you have an ego that you can control and you have security behind that ego, you then know when to fill yourself with confidence and back yourself when you're speaking and when not to. Humility is very key when it comes to having an ego also, so that's when you can switch off as well.
I think knowing that, and especially relationships, like maybe if you're having like a, not a heated conversation, but just a basic conversation, it's maybe about a certain thing.
Yeah.
Not having an ego in that situation is brilliant. But see, having a podcast like this, there needs to be a little bit of like ego. Otherwise, we'd be like, what was it? Is it an NPC?
Yeah.
You'd almost be like too scared to say anything out of the norm.
Yeah.
So you do need to have an ego. You need to have an ego in work. You need to have an ego to stand in front of a crowd and speak. You need to have an ego to demand respect. And if you use it properly, you're in a cool position. But don't. With great power comes great responsibility. It's like, don't let it get your head too fucking much. If you're stacking some good wins, don't be a cunt about it. Yep. I think that's the worst thing.
So from Goldilocks to a fat cock, what were the 3 biggest vices that you were holding back from optimizing your life?
Ask that again.
So from Goldilocks to a fat cock, what were the 3 biggest vices that were holding you back from optimizing your life and fulfilling your potential? How did you overcome them?
I'd probably say number 1, cutting corners. That was a vice because it was a helpful way for me to never fully commit to something because I feared failure. So once I decided that I'm just going to lean in 100%, that renounced the need to escape and just be completely open to the ups and downs that potentially could have came from yeses or nos or like doing right or doing wrong. I just went for it no matter what. Smoking weed, I smoked every single day from probably the ages of 16 to 23. Fair little bit of a career there. I could fucking roll a joint in one hand in about 13 seconds.
That's insane.
I was good, man. We used to do wee competitions like fastest one to roll after. Like done, man.
Spark before
the What skins do you used to use?
So you mean you smoke every day?
Ross, come on.
Every day.
Black Rose.
Used to smoke in the morning.
So it was
just smoke a wee zoot in the morning.
Wake and bake.
A wee get myself going because I calmed me down. What's that? Why are you not calm? It's the morning.
Bro,
I used to wake up so reactive because I was like, had to wake up with all that brain fog.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, today's going to be a fucking hard day. The stress, the pressure. Get high. Float. Legit. Lunchtime, get high. I'd done my first wee chunk. Well done. You made it to halfway through the day. You get high again, and then you do your next chunk. Nighttime now, get really high. Really high.
Blind stoned.
That would last a long time. I do a lot of things off the back of that, where it came to, staying up too late, eating too much food, all that kind of shit, and just feeling sluggish and horrible. So that was probably the second vice. Once I kind of renounced that, a lot opened in terms of like emotional. You got IQ, but you got EQ, you got emotional intelligence as well. And like that's when everything changed for me. I became more like empathetic, more confident, more connected to everything. Off the back of doing that, probably say the third vice. I've recently just stopped drinking. I've not drank in like 11 weeks now. Not saying I was a big boozer, but again, it's just another thing that you waste energy, money, and time on. And I'd also say my diet. I'm really fucking good with my diet this year. For me especially, I've kind of like, see, when you're weight training and lifting, you can kind of like get away with like being quite, lax with your food. You train 6 days a week, intense. You would fucking never the fuck you want if you're hitting your protein. You just can. But this year I was like, no, I'm really going to take care of my diet. look at everything through like a magnifying glass and really ask myself, is this what my body needs? Or is this just what like I fucking want? Like, are you living in needs or wants? So I kind of just like renounced poor quality food from my diet completely. And those three things have changed how I look, how I feel, how I perform, how successful I can be on a daily and weekly basis, yearly basis. Yeah, I'd say those are the three things.
Sick. So obviously going to that second vice again, right? Because a lot of people who watch this, they probably do smoke weed. Me and Jack aren't shy of the odd little bit of smoking, right?
CBD,
obviously
obviously.
in extreme, CBD, obviously. But regarding that, so do you feel that you could smoke the odd joint now? Moderation is key, or what's your opinion on that with productivity and mood and all these kind of things?
It came from like such negative repercussions. There's almost too much guilt and shame attached to doing it.
Say there was a clean slate though.
Yeah, maybe like right environment if I'm like fucking, I don't know, camping in a beautiful place in the world, and you know the guy with the long hair is like, I've got this joint. I'd be like, hey, maybe,
so, dude.
maybe. But as I say, there's a lot of guilt and shame attached to it. Like the kind of season that kind of got too hot to handle for me was like, you know, pushing people away. Weed came before everything. It was ruining my business productivity. It probably led to me fucking falling asleep at the wheel and writing my car off. It was maybe one of the things that made me want to fucking kill myself. Like, it was like that was like the consistent thing through those horrible dark times that, you know, if it wasn't there, I might have had a clearer head of thinking and not ran down these different paths. And, you know, I've been in situations where I would have done anything for free weed. So, like, I found myself in some bad situations before, just trying to make a quick buck or just trying to get some free smoke, you know? So without having that in my life, it's you know, removed all that side of the fucking world, you know, the underworld, you know, dealers. I had nothing worse than picking up a bag of weed and having to drive to a place to then go to a guy's house, and then you're sitting in the guy's house and it's like, he fucking wants to befriend you. The next thing you know, you're fucking like, I don't know, I just don't like being around motherfuckers like that. Like, you're not my fucking circle. No.
Next thing you know, you're feeding his dog food and shit.
Big fucking ween-eating dog man, big trouser. I was like, doesn't he bite?
Yeah.
With a fucking human arm in the corner.
So I watched a podcast with George Janko. He interviewed Andrew Tate. Do you know him?
No.
From, you know, Logan Paul, obviously.
Yeah.
He had a podcast with a little guy on the left that never really fucking spoke.
Okay.
A wee tiny guy on the left.
He got his own podcast now.
Got his own podcast now. Flew to Romania, interviewed Andrew Tate, and he's a very successful entrepreneur, business person, making a lot of money, probably 7 figures. And one thing that he asked Andrew Tate, because he knows Andrew Tate is very strict, reverted to Islam, very religious, he asked him about weed, and he asked if that's the only thing that he chooses to do in his downtime, out with his work, and it doesn't affect his productivity in any way, because obviously, as we all know, with work must come rest. That's why you get good sleep. That's why you have scheduled downtime to relax. Just an open question, not you specifically, but is there a level of chance in still being able to optimize your life if you can moderate weed in a very good way?
I think so. You've got guys like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Fucking absolute killer in business. Doesn't fucking swing his dick about it, but the guy's, you know, multi-million, if not more billion.
He smokes on the regular.
Smokes on the regular, smokes on his podcast.
Literally.
You got Elon Musk guy.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I think it's like, it's all personal dependent. I think I just got to a point where, like, you know, regret's your signal kind of thing. Like, every time I smoke, I regret this. You know, so just nip it in the bud.
It's because of the scars, though, you have attached to that, isn't it?
Definitely. Always kind of brought it. Like, it feels like I've grown so much that any time I would do that would bring me back to, like, I feel like I'm regressing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the awareness is sick. Your level of awareness. So do you see, obviously, again, I can tell you're like us, overthinker, like big overthinker. Do you reflect on everything you do? Are you quite big on self-reflection? Because it's something we preach on the podcast quite a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I never project, like, oh, I'm so stressed about all this stuff. It's like, no, I'll reflect on what I'm stressed on. It's never anyone else's burden to carry. never anyone else's burden to carry. And if I can put myself in a, you know, grounded position to think deeply, I would say, about who I am, what I'm doing, the habits I have, the way I'm acting, the way I'm speaking. You know, I know we spoke about the conversation thing, and I'll probably leave this and think about it in the car for a wee bit, not too much. I don't regret anything I've spoke about so far, but I'll put myself in a spot where I definitely am reflective. You know, I'm not one of those guys. I used to journal every single day. I used to reflect on my entire week. If I have any hot spots when I'm like, oh, that was a bad thing, I'll reflect hard on that. But it's, again, I just avoid those hot spots, you know, because everything else is like pretty streamlined at the moment. Like I'd say one of the things I've always wrote on my whiteboard every year is be a clean cut motherfucker. And whatever that means to you, that's what it means to you. But for me, clean cut comes down to like you're showered, you dress the way you kind of want to dress, tidy office, tidy mind, diaries looked after, awesome physique, clean diet. Someone was to watch how you live your life. Would they give you the thumbs up, or would they be like, that looks a bit fucking ropey, my man?
Yeah. So with that, again, we're sitting speaking about quite deep things here, right? A lot of people don't even have conversations about. And with me, I take the kind of same holistic approach. You've got a lot more kind of skin in the game, a lot more experience with clients. What would you say when it comes to, obviously, you get crazy results with clients, whether it's over a year, even 18 months sometimes, or 2 years, or 6 months? It does vary with your results. And I think the best results you've got have been over like 18 weeks and things like that, like decent length of times. But what are the kind of non-negotiables that you make sure clients are doing to get those kind of results? I'm not looking for the secret sauce, but again, people watching this podcast, we need to give them value. You're the general of not missing. The results you've had, though, honestly, see the results you've had on your page, though. Like, other than the mindset shift they've all had, physically, these people are fucking transforming ridiculous results. So tell us, how the fuck did they do it?
Give us the sauce.
I made a thing called the Peak Performance Blueprint, and it's basically a thing that me and my clients work on and build together. So when they do finish the program, they've got their formula. It's individual for everyone, because peak performance is a state when you feel nothing is missing, right? That's why you never miss. That's how you make that feeling, right? With that being said, when you're in a state of nothing's missing, it's like, what really is lacking from said individual's life? You meet them where you're at. Everyone needs a process of removal in the morning to get themselves right, whether that be through reading, journaling, exercise, supplementation, or doing something for them that removes any fear, negativity, or doubt, so they can actually feel whole for the day. So the first thing that I always lean into is trying to make sure my guys have a morning process. You win the morning, you win the day, you win the day, win the week, the year, so on and so forth. So morning process comes first. Make sure that's solid and consistent, because if you wake up negative and you've got your morning process, that will elevate you into a higher level of thinking, feeling, and performing, so you'll feel better. From there, bespoke nutrition strategy. It's going to be different for everyone. Understand your macros. They're going to be the big drivers, the core drivers. And if you change your physique, you add the muscle, you strip the fat. Having that, then bespoking it based upon what is vital. You know, what is vital? You know, there's certain things you can do, like eating whole eggs in the evening prior to your sleep cycle to improve testosterone production through the hours of like 12 and 3 a.m. Putting that in place for a guy who's on like a strength building program could potentially be one of the things that allows him to just get stronger. You know, just making sure you break things down super simply from the nutrition side. Macros are going to be everything. I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of like a nutrition protocol, something you'd implement, because, you know, it's going to be different. Training has to be fun, has to be exciting. I like to take the approach of like hybrid bodybuilding. There's always going to be the meat and veg of training, you know, squats, your bench, your deadlift, if it's necessary for someone, but a bodybuilding approach with a functional twist, whether it be adding conditioning, adding some endurance, adding some hard cardio to get the heart elevated, to get them actually moving, because you're just hitting the weights, it's great, but see if you move and you sweat, that is like when you're dripping a sweat coming out of session, you feel accomplished, and that's another big win stacked. So I think that's massive. I think that's absolutely massive. Evening routine, like everyone does the same, but again, it just comes with time and how you communicate it. I think I'm very straight to the point now, and I do get pissed off at my clients. Like, I think my normal state is quite angry when I start coaching every day. I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't done this. I have to say, I'd be like, why is this compliance not where it needs to be? I give them what I know I need, you know, and that's why I just have created this blueprint for me, which I kind of extend to them and mold it around what their life now is. So there's no real secret sauce. There's no one size fits all. There's no real thing, but I'd say I'm quite a compassionate but compressionate coach. Like, I put a lot of compression on my clients to be like, if you fail, you're fucked. Like, you're off the program. I'll get stressed. I will get annoyed at you, and I will make sure that we still meet you where you're at and double down and give you the shoulder if you need it, but give you the fucking kick up the arse when you truly fucking deserve it. Because I'm just results driven, man. Like, I know how good it can be for someone to achieve peak performance, you know, and reach that status in their own heart and head when they've got the physique, the energy, the mobility, the strength. Like, man, that is the most valuable thing in the world. So when I see guys slacking, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, that kills me. That really kills me, because I'm like, you're just not getting it, are you? You just don't get it yet. You're investing this money. You say you're trying, but you've told yourself the same story for too long. So either you shut the fuck up and get it done, or, bro, I don't know, maybe you're just unable to actually change.
Why do they do that? Why do they slack? Why do they not do what they know they should? What causes it?
I think people just don't get it. Like, I think, see, with coaching, especially, it's almost became a little bit of a, what's that word I'm looking for? Commodity. Everyone's got a coach. It's almost the popular thing to have.
Yeah.
Fashion is fashionable. And when you've got a coach who has a proven results record, small to medium following on social media, they seem to be doing well, they're always popping off. It's like, yeah, but I'm working with, you know, the richy guy, or like, I'm working with Mcfarlane.
It's a status thing, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't want you to say you work with me until you've got the result. Like, fuck. Yeah. Like, yeah, well done for signing up, but like, you've not done fuck all yet, you know? And do you know what I hate? See when a guy, you know, loses his first 30 pounds or something and comes in, but he's still a wee bit skinny fat and needs to build. It's like, oh, I've kind of cracked this now. I'm going to go on and do this myself. It's like, mate.
Oh, fuck that.
I'll see you in Chuck E. Cheese, man, when you're 40 pound over.
Yeah, fully.
And then we can chat again.
People are deluded how long it takes. Like, people think they can change their life in 12 weeks. And if you're watching this and you're like, fucking hell, Lewis has just laid it out for you. What he does with his clients. If you go onto his page, Lewis Mcfarlane Coaching on Instagram, the fucking results are ridiculous, and it doesn't seem very hard, okay? But yeah, when you think you've done it all and you've achieved life and you've got the physique you want in 12 weeks, it doesn't exist. That actually doesn't exist. What would you say the average time?
The thing is, you can rip someone up in 12 weeks. You can, but if you want to step...
Depending on where they start, obviously.
Yeah, if you get an average guy, kind of skinny fat, I'd say, 12 weeks, you could probably do like a small kind of reverse diet, rip some fat off, and then do like a 6-week push and fill him out a wee bit. Mm-hmm. It could work, and it could look, before and after could look better.
Good, yeah.
But, I'd say 6 months, a lovely time frame. My best clients, the ones that truly own the fucking show, that rip off silly amounts of weight, get ripped. I mean, like, ab veins, fucking, jacked, man. Better looking than me. It's crazy to see. And then they stay and play for fucking, 16 months, 2 years. So they just love it, man. They just love it. And they've got this time horizon, and they're not fucking bitches. They don't moan, and they ask questions when they're stuck, and they'll jump on some calls, and they'll post some cool shit, and they'll tag it, and they're just involved, man. Yeah, they're just involved. Whereas the ones that are like, if you tagged them in a win, they wouldn't even reshare it in their story, because they're like, oh fuck, my friends will know I've got a coach and I've not made fuck all results. So I'm going to get weird questions. And like, I think people are well scared when it's like, when their family or their friends are like, so how's that coaching thing going? Like, oh, that's happened, this happened. It's like, nah, you've just not committed, have you?
No.
You've just not committed to another thing. Another thing that you've fucked it on.
See, one thing for some PTs, coaches that may be watching as well. Yeah. when you start PT, you do not get the clients that you want. You don't get these people that are locked in. You don't get these people that tag you on fucking Instagram, and it makes you doubt yourself as a coach. When did you start to attract those people?
My clients still don't tag me in shit, and I've been doing this for 10 years.
But the people that are, well, there we go then. There we go then. But like, when did you start to really work with the people you wanted to work with?
Man, as I say, like I got some mad cookie people at the start when I was coaching. Just out of the gyms I worked in, referrals. You take on anyone and everyone, man. Literally, I've taken on some of the most wild people. Some of the weirdest people as well. Wonderful in their own way, but weird. But yeah, over time you refine. I think personal brand's everything. People buy into you, and when they see sort of like a small similarities, traits, whether it be down to like the way you dress, the type of music, the type of training, the type of physique, all of that is personal brand, you know. And then people will buy into your personal brand, your story, your kind of movement. They want a wee bit of that. And they find it quite like popular. Like, oh, that's quite cool. I resonate with this guy. And at the start, when you're a PT, you don't fucking have a clue who you are, because you now have to be a PT. And you look around at other PTs and you trait jack. You take like, oh, that guy's a banana, so I'm going to take a banana from him. That guy's a melon, I'm going to take a melon from him. You have this fruit basket of random shit, and then you're like, oh, but I don't even like apples. Why'd I have apples in here? So I'm not, cut this. It's like, I don't like watermelon, I like honeydew. Replace that. You start rebuilding yourself, but you go through little iterations and trial and errors, and I'm not a finished product. I'm still refining me. I'm sharper than I've ever been, definitely, physically and mentally. Still refining me. Put me in a room with Lewis 2 years ago, I'd snap him. I'd kill him. Might have been heavier, might have been stronger, but I'd snap him. Like, he just didn't have the kind of the edge that I have now. And that just comes through time, iterations, pulling back the onion, getting deeper,
refining over time.
Yeah, chiseling it, man. Chiseling it down.
Yeah. It's important to note as well that all the clients of yours that have smashed it are the clients that have allowed health and fitness to become a lifestyle. And that's the whole reason we all have a holistic approach to health, fitness and recovery, because once it becomes a lifestyle, it sticks forever. And you then create that longevity, the later life, more importantly, that you will never have if you don't make health, fitness and recovery a part of your lifestyle, a part of your priorities. And as soon as you do, you'll be one of Lewis Mcfarlane's or Kyle Ritchie's or Jack Ritchie's star clients that have created a life full of longevity and movement and feeling fucking good. Yeah, 100%. And if you, again, people like us sitting here, if you come to us and actually completely tick the boxes, follow every single thing we say, we can all bet our lives on it that you're going to be a completely different person. You're never going to be the same again. There will be complete permanent changes made, because the approach we take isn't for a 6 to 12 week transformation, although that is fun sometimes before Ibiza. We do look to absolutely completely change your life. So again, come to us, tick the boxes. Amazing. I've got a question.
Just one thing to add, there is no flawed program. There's just flawed implementation. Just wanted to add that.
Boom. Yeah, that is absolute fact. So, question for you, right? 3 things in life right now that you need to be doing to have core happiness.
Have goals. That's got to be number 1. I've got some big exciting goals this year. That's kind of give me an element of happiness. It's kind of, I think happiness, I like the word joy better, because happiness is like a high state, whereas joy is kind of more consistent, more achievable, more attainable. I say, number 2, state of joy, what keeps me happy.
It's just core happiness.
I think you just gotta fucking train hard. You just gotta train really fucking hard every fucking day. Like, that has got to be one of the core drivers for overall happiness. I think there's nothing better than getting a sick, juicy pump, looking at yourself and saying, good on you, brother, well in, crushed it. I think being real with yourself is going to keep you happy. When you're trying to be fake, cut corners and appease other people, that's the fastest path to like misery. And I think instead of focusing on what we could be happy about, it's like focus on what's going to make you extremely unhappy and just do the opposite. So inversion thinking on that one. Like, just don't fucking cut corners, try and impress other people, impress yourself first, and yeah, have those goals.
So the 3 main things right now to make you feel core happiness is you've got goals, train fucking hard, stack the evidence, and then be real, authentic.
Yeah.
So let's take you to your deathbed. Your breath's getting shallow. You're about to fucking die.
Who's that way there now, man?
What three things would you then need at that point to feel fulfilled, core happiness?
If I can live a life that when I look back on in days to come, years to come, the future to come, when I'm lying on my deathbed, if I've lived a life where I have fully juiced out every single day to my maximum capacity, not lived off anyone else's rule book, and played a game that I've created, then I can die fucking happy.
That's 3 in the 1, basically.
Yeah, I'd say that, like, that's the way I wanted to kind of get that statement across.
So the good thing is, the 3 things that you said make you happy now pretty much directly relate to how you're going to feel when you're dying. If you fulfill all 3 of those things, you're going to feel like the core happiness when you're dying. Amazing. What about family? What about relationships? I know that's a part of being real, but is that something that gives you core happiness? Is that something that's in your life right now? You're very goal driven, but what about that side?
I love my family. Love Amy, love Amy's family. Got a great family, to be honest. But there's no real buts. I think I'm just a really selfish person, to be really honest and real. I'm fucking quite selfish. Because I know, like, if I achieve my goals, they'll get an impact off the back of it. I'm not saying every day it's for them. That, like, I think a lot of people say, yeah, I'm doing it for my family. It's like, fuck you, no, you're not. Like, you're doing it for you.
Love the realness, that's fucking sick.
I'm doing it for me because I know what I can achieve in this world. And you know, if I want to take the fucking family to Barbados one year first class, I'll fucking do that. You know? But it's on me. It's like I have to do it for me to then do it for them.
So do you feel, because it's funny you said that, I'm exactly the same. I think Jack's exactly the same as well. We don't spend enough time with family, right? But I think it's because, we're being selfish and we're so distracted by it's not a distraction in a bad way, but away from family, we're so focused on the purpose, the goals, moving forward, that we might not go and have Sunday dinner every day, every Sunday, every week. Yeah. There's not always that family time in there. So again, do you feel any sense of guilt behind that?
I think sometimes, see when the distance has been made for a while, see if I've not like had a small catch up with my mum on the phone, me and my dad will chat with him in person, but it's like I don't really ring my dad. I ring him maybe if I need fucking a bill paid that's came to my fucking his house and not mine. I'm like, I can just pay it, I'll send you the money. Like a car thing or something. Yeah. That's like dad and son chat. It's like, oh, your car's up for renewal. Oh, nice, let's chat about that. And I would be like, how's things? I'm like, aye, decent. But like, if it's with my mum, I connect with my mum. You know, me and my brother, my sister, we're pretty tight. We're all entrepreneurial. My sister lives in New Zealand. I was over there not long ago. Had really good connected time, but I'm not messaging them every day. Got enough fucking people to talk to. It's like really hard to like do everything. Mm-hmm. But anytime I'm there, it's like, you know, hugs, kisses, lots of love. See you soon. It's like, I'm there for them if they need me. And if they ever asked for anything, I'd break my back for them. Yeah. Like, but
only when you need to.
Yeah. I'm not a wee fucking mama's boy. It's like, must go for Sunday dinner every single week. Yeah, bro. Must phone my mum. Tell her that I got a new client. Yeah. It's like, it's
not bad to be like that. It's not bad to be, but you're being real about who you are right now, and it's very similar to how me and Jack are. And another thing I think we really relate on is the mindset we all have, the vision we all have, the perspective we've got. And we did not get that from anyone but ourselves. We didn't have a dad to show us the way really at all. We didn't have him to inject vision and inject these goals into us. Are you the same? Have you developed this yourself, you and your brother?
I think it's all just been like, mum and dad just says fucking, they never gave us constraints, never told us a path to go on, which gave us freedom to choose our own, which I thought, like, I've got a lot of respect for that. They were never like, oh, you need to be a doctor, you need to get this secure job. It was never like that. They were like, just kind of follow your path, you know, and it's led us all into really solid positions, you know, and I think they'd be fucking proud, you know.
Fully exactly the same.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that life is a value exchange. And when it comes to having a business like ours,
the exchange that we give our clients in changing their lives, getting them the results they want, all that, the exchange is money. Obviously, we all have monetary goals, whether that be just to have the money and the cars and the materialistic shit, or just the freedom to do whatever the fuck we want. Me and Kayla are more freedom-based because of the restriction we experienced as kids. When was your first six-figure year?
It's 24. Like, I think I was 26 now. I think I was 23.
So, a lot of people struggle. I'm in the midst of this year, should be my first six-figure year, really going on top of that. And I'm implementing a lot of systems and processes, things that will help me scale to that income. What are 3 things that you implemented to scale your business past 6 figures?
Investment into oneself for education, delegation to other people to do jobs that you do not want to do or can do it better than you, and systems as well. Like, straight up, like, you need fucking
Automations.
systems. Like, I used to run my business off a fucking notepad and a pen and a bank transfer link. That was it. Try do that with 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 clients. You'll fucking hate your life. And you'll have so many bounce payments and so much stress. And try do it yourself. Try not delegate anything and hold everything to yourself because you're too proud to let go. That'll be the big thing that, you know, stops your business growing. And if you don't invest in yourself, you'll never learn the next move. Like, those are the 3 things I'd say. And I'm sure anyone would say that, actually. I'm sure any, like, business guy, I'm not a business guy, but I'm sure anyone in business would say that.
You kind of are a business guy.
Yeah, we all are. We all need to be, but that's sick. And it creates certainty as well. Having those 3 things in place, you've actually got certainty, money's coming into the bank on a monthly basis. You're actually scaling and moving forward rather than relying on a fucking pen and a notepad and your stress levels to not fucking crack. Do you know what I mean?
I've still got these notepads for, like, that's a thing to reflect on. I keep all my journals, and I have done for years, man. I look back at, like, I used to sell, like, Instagram programs when I was, like, 19, 20. It was like $49.99 for 8 weeks, $69.99 for 12, or the big package, $74.99 for 16.
Fuck.
I used to map everything out, every macro, every training thing, every phase. It was actually really good, probably better than half the fucking cunts coaching at the moment.
Yeah.
And then folk would just send me their before photo on Instagram, then a couple of months later, ping me another photo, and they'd have a result, and I'd be like, online money.
Passive income, right, baby?
You're working so hard building these, like, crazy fucking PDF programs with everything designed to the T, and not speaking to a client for 16 weeks, and then, like,
£75, man. Fucking so funny.
Fucking worked though, man.
Yeah, it works.
Worked.
So what are you running away from, and what are you running towards?
Running away from a life of mediocrity. Running towards, I'd probably say, like,
a life of excellence.
Maybe a life of excellence. That's, like, I was thinking, like, just do the opposite, but, like, the goals I have right now is, one, over the next couple of months, going to set the business up in Dubai. That's a big move.
Jeez.
Taking Amy fully on board, getting her leaving our full-time job in a kind of law firm. Getting another coach on board, living in Bali in Australia, and then obviously, of course, Dubai intermittently when I need to. I'm not a Dubai guy. I'll pop over and do some.
Let's get an Eris, man. I think you'll like it.
Oh, I probably will like it, but Amy won't like it. Well, she says she won't.
Bro,
So would you not look to reside in the UK at all then?
I'll come back over for, like,
because to get the tax benefits, is it not you're only allowed in the UK for like 3 months of the year?
Yeah, so that's what I'll play. Family events, Christmases, weddings,
birthdays, funerals.
Bar
I'm on
mitzvahs.
Bar mitzvahs. I'm on that, bro. I'm on the exact same fucking shit, because at the end of the day, with it being online, you've got locational freedom. Do you know what I mean? You've got that there. So
if I was you, I would do it as soon as you fucking possibly can, mate.
Yeah, 100%. I think building something here though is important. Would you not say? Like, because the amount of connections, the mentorship, like everything you built
online
here,
coaching, mate, it's fucking.
but it's allowing you to do what you're doing now, what you've done in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, if you'd fucked off to Dubai with an online business making 5k a month, you wouldn't have been able to do what you've done now.
I would say hindsight's a beautiful thing. I'd say if I'd done this a year ago, would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for a few reasons.
Okay.
That I won't get into, but I was just like, if I'd done this a year ago, it would have been better. Just because life moves fucking really fast at this level I'm at the moment. I'm like, if I'd done it last year, then it would have been easier.
Tax benefits as well in Dubai. It's fucking mental. You could genuinely take a huge hit on your income right now in the UK and move to Dubai and still be clearing more than you are in the UK.
Tax,
it's fucking disgusting.
You can get set up in Dubai without being there, though. That's a complete thing. You don't need to be a resident there to actually be set up.
Yeah, I think there's a few fucking
little loopholes.
But yeah, that's kind of like my plan. That's kind of what I'm running towards.
Nice.
Like, I don't really plan crazy into the future, but it's like, that's next moves on the chessboard. Nail all that shit, then think about next step. Yeah. You know, get tanned. You know, get this fucking cold.
Get that fucking tinted moisturizer.
One thing I'm excited every time I get to.
Sorry, man. Just give away the fucking.
I didn't have time to put stuff on, man. You can see the arms are relatively shaved. I've dropped a couple of kilo. So I'm quite ripped at the moment, but it's fucking cold in here. So
peeled me eyes, bro. My hands are fucking.
The arms are like 13s at the moment.
Dubai, there'll be 16s.
Yeah, maybe.
You're a big quote guy. I see a lot of quotes on your shit.
Quotes, man.
Yeah, I know you actually probably live a lot of your life by fucking quotes. What are the top 3 quotes that the listeners could take away from today?
Number 1, discipline will set you free. That's what it says in the tin. Life is not what it is, it's as you are.
I liked that earlier. That was fucking.
Really like that one.
Yep.
Really like that one. And
elaborate on that quickly. No. Like, just though, like, as you are though, it's like, what, do you create your own reality by who you are?
So like there was a lot of fucking bonkers shit going on around us all the time. Again, we've spoke a lot about like external negativity, all that. But if you're in a negative internal state, of course, like, life's going to be fucking more toxic, more hard to navigate. If you're a happy guy, positive guy, living true to your purpose, your standards, you know, I rarely have a shit fucking day because of how I accumulate fucking wins and energy in my own life. That's kind of what the quote means, you know. And another one, life's a mirror, not a window, and it's basically the same quote, but it just kind of says look in rather than out for your next move. Everyone's, oh, what's my boss? Is my boss going to give me the next step of my job? Or is my girlfriend going to say when we move to the house? Or when we get a dog? Or do this? It's like everyone's just wee puppies, man, wee sheep following along. But it's like, look in, man, trust your intuition, your heart, your head, your gut, most importantly, and follow your path. As opposed to, what can I do to get the next big promotion? What can I do to... Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no proactivity. There's no ownership. If that's a word, like, no one's proactive towards taking that next move. They're waiting because they're scared of maybe an uncomfortable conversation. The biggest thing a lot of people don't do is own their shit. They always blame, complain, victim mentality, all that. When it comes to moving forward in the best way possible, as soon as you own your word, you own your actions, you own your thoughts, that's how you take full control of your life, man. As soon as I've started doing that, shit's been happening for me. I talk about intuitive thinking, right? But owning your words, owning your thoughts, your actions are so much more important, because it's that ownership that will allow you to act with honesty and security, and the efforts will compound. And as Alex Hormozy says, that stack of evidence against the self-doubt will be there, and you just keep fucking going, mate. Like, I feel like once you pass a certain little threshold, it's very easy to keep going. It's like the initial building phase. Like, me and Kyle are still very young. A lot of people might look at us and go, "How are you this young? How can you teach us this or this and that, blah, blah, blah." Well, if you do a little bit of digging into self-development and you listen to people that have lived 50, 60 years of success, then you can start to understand why we know more than we have lived, because you can stand on the shoulders of giants and start to take from the people above. I'm glad you touched on the kind of shoulders of giants thing, because, like, I know a lot of guys in their fucking 40s that are knuckleheads, and then, you know, like, say you two guys, young guns in the fucking game, but young bulls. You've got all these, you're stacking this knowledge, man, stacking this, like, mental wealth. And you could fucking be in a conversation with this 40-year-old guy and blow his fucking socks off by like saying a 3-word sentence.
Literally.
And he'd be like, what you mean discipline will set me free? It's like, yeah, we can tell you don't know what discipline is. Like, we can tell, bro.
Yeah.
Can tell by the fucking sweat your belly button.
There's no age. There's no. There's no age to mindset at all. There actually isn't, because a lot of people. It would be silly for me and Jack not to utilize and access the information that you can, and then actually move forward and use it in life. Just because we're the age we are. Like, I'm 23, so I can't speak about X, Y, and Z. It just doesn't really make sense.
You can't speak about relationship. You can't speak about this. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like, maybe don't class yourself as like the relationship expert or something, but like, you can still speak about it. You can have opinions, and you can have like evidence and knowledge and maybe education on a topic. Like, if I know something inside out, like, but I'm only 21, who's to tell me that I can't flex that knowledge? You know, who's to say that? Or if, you know, there's a guy who's fucking, I don't know. I could just keep saying fucking
examples,
analogies,
examples there, but
maybe you can't speak from life experience, but you can speak from evidence and knowledge.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of hours of absorbing knowledge and information from people that have done it will then allow you to speak with value and logic that anyone can apply of any age. That's the weird thing. A lot of people think you need to have lived a certain length of life to give the value. Well, there's a reason why me and Kale sitting here at 23 years old have genuinely changed the lives of 40, 50, 60-year-olds. It doesn't, as Kale said, you can't put an age on wisdom. It's purely based on what you do with the time that you're alive and what you fill your head with. A lot of people fill their head with porn, scrolling on shite. It's funny, I actually like clicked into scrolling a little bit the other day, right? And I've been so aware because I've been starting to do the 6-minute diary, and I've not been scrolling that much. And see, when I came back in to try to think about what I was doing today, my head was so clouded of shite. It's crazy, mate. Like, see if you actually are unaware of what you're consuming, you will just be led by what you're consuming. So once you become aware of what you're consuming, you can then start to be aware and take control of what you're doing. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Mic drop.
I like that. Wish we had see those little things in podcasts.
We're gonna get them,
bro. We're getting a soundboard. Yeah,
we're
we need
getting
to.
a soundboard.
Sick dropping bombs, man.
Yeah, but if someone says something shit, we're gonna go a wee. We're gonna get like a little fucking
stupid.
Like, shut up, man.
Stupid.
Just hire a guy instead, just to sit in the corner and make noises.
Bring Jude in. We'll bring Jude in. Jude, you're hired for the next fucking podcast, man.
To finish off the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's bring it to a close.
What are 3 core principles that you live by daily?
Should be easy. Should be easy to actually rhyme off. I would say always wake up on first alarm.
Never snooze.
Never snooze, man. You snooze, you lose. As much as it's a lame quote, it's very fucking true. Exercise every single day, whether it be big or small. And to be honest, exercise and sleep, like I go to bed at the 8:30 every night, wake up at the same time every morning, just make sure I train. Like, do those things, your energy is going to be great and you're going to look great, and then the rest take care of itself. A lot of guys, they don't train, their diet's fucked, they wake up late, their first meal's fucked, therefore they don't train. It's like this big combination, you know. So if you just nail the like, I look at wake and sleep as the bread of your day, and the meat is the training and nutrition. That's the sandwich. Or the bookshelf, you could look at it. If one of the sides of the bookshelf is missing, the books are going to fall over. So just make sure the front and the back end of your day are really fucking tight and regimented. You've got good fillers, you know, good fillers, good books in there, or good meats for the sandwich.
So 3 principles that we cover: that discipline, consistency, self-worth. Just valuing your time, valuing yourself, respecting yourself, and staying on track, ticking the boxes, never missing.
Completely.
Never too busy to be better.
Nice.
See, the answer that you've just given there, though, as someone that's successful, as someone that's going to crazy fucking places in terms of your business, life in general, to people listening, how simple was that answer? It wasn't anything crazy, complicated, fucking meditation, this, cold water. Like, it was genuinely just look after your sleep.
Warm shower every morning.
Oh, nice.
Nice long warm shower after I train. Fuck the cold. It's cold enough. Defrost my car in the morning, that's a fucking ice bath and a half as it is. It fucking 5 in the morning. That's cold exposure.
I love Lewis, right? But there's the cold showers in the morning, really good for mental resilience. Because if you don't want to do something and you do it, it's proven to yourself that you can do shit you don't want to do, and then throughout the day, you're less likely to avoid doing uncomfortable things. So cold showers have their place, definitely. Do you need to do them? I mean, Lewis doesn't.
I think it's like another thing though. Like it's the mental resilience side. If you wake up at fucking 3:45, that's also that's mental resilience. Yeah. That's my cold shower. Yeah, you know.
Fucking perfect example.
Straight. And I was going to add something interesting there. Completely left my mind, but hey, what a fucking podcast.
Yeah, that was a fucking banger.
Really, really good.
Make sure to tap in and grow the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, which is the part of your brain that allows you to build the will to live. And doing things you don't want to do will grow that. So focus on things you don't want to do. Lewis, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll do a DMT or a fucking mushroom podcast. We might go on our Patreon. We might start a Patreon, exclusive content coming soon.
And to be honest, this podcast, I feel like it's kind of unfulfilling to the extent where we could have still spoke for another fucking 3 hours.
I could sit, see if it was a bit fucking warmer, man.
Yeah, we could be sitting chilling here,
man.
Yeah. Well, there's gonna be a part 2 at some point. We're gonna get another Lewis back on, whether it's in Dubai, maybe. Whether, do you know what I mean? It's gonna
Come
be
to Dubai, Habibi.
Habibi, yeah.
Obviously, we're looking to pull off a few cool things. I'm in Tenerife every month. There's a few big people over there that we could interview. So, podcast in Tenerife, podcast Dubai, Thailand. Maybe we'll see where it goes. But yeah, another amazing podcast. Lewis, thank you for coming on. Yeah,
and if you made it to this point in the podcast, you're a fucking legend.
Well done, round
of applause, and we love and appreciate you.
Brain made it this long.
We love and appreciate you. Fucking keep tuning in.
Dopamine detox if they've made it this far.
Yeah, crazy, and a lot of wisdom soaked in. So yeah, tune the fuck in. We've got another couple of big guests coming on the next podcast, and yeah, here's to more life, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah,
Don't
more life.
Be a hoe, share the show.
Let's go.